Hi, this is Chris from MusicRadar, and we're here with Slash to talk about riffs. So, Slash, what makes a killer riff?
A killer riff, something that's memorable, something that digs in, something that obviously has the right note selection to make something just sound fucking attractive, I guess. But it's got to have a great sound, and it's got to have a great attack, and there's a lot of different elements. I think the most important thing is just something that's really catchy and sticks with you.
Right. So, if you had to name your favourite riff of all time, which is obviously a nightmare question, but what would you choose?
You know what? A nightmare. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking a whole lot of love because it's just. I remember when that record came out. I was a little kid, and but Black Dog is another one. Zeppelin had probably the biggest cachet of killer riffs more than any other band.
Yeah.
But anyway, I could go on. There's so many great riffs. It's hard to go this one.
So, which of the ones that you've written are you kind of most proud of, or do you think are the most kind of enduring?
I think I've always dug Paradise City. I always thought it was great. Rocket Queen was something that I was pretty fond of, and Jungle is great. Now everybody seems to like Sweet Child of Mine. I think that's a pretty cool riff, but I'd probably opt for Welcome to the Jungle over Sweet Child of Mine.
So when when you were writing those, was there a point where you sort of you played it and you thought this is a great riff, or was it something that just kind of evolved with the song?
Well, I'm sort of a riff guy, like I most of the stuff I write, I actually have to force myself sometimes to write stuff that are just more chord oriented, just to get away from the single note thing. But usually what happens is I just run across something, or I hear something in my head, or get an idea, and then just execute it with the drums. And if it's got that impact, there's some stuff on my new record that I'm really fond of because it came together that way. And then I don't sit there and judge it as far as what kind of riff it is, or if it's up there in the fucking upper echelon of great riffs. But if it moves me, that's the main thing. If it fucking grooves and all that.
So do you have any advice for aspiring riff writers?
Yeah, 'cause, I started out from the very beginning as a riff guy, so I guess if that's what you're into, then go for it. I think it's a frame of mind. I don't think you sit there and go, I want to be a riff guy. How do I do that? It's something that sort of comes naturally.
Okay, thanks very much, Slash. And it's Riff Week on Music Radar.